Okay, we should be up on YouTube, Kick, and Twitch. Let me just check. We're up on Twitch. May be on YouTube. Yep, we're on YouTube. And we're on Kick. Alright, that looks good. Maybe one day I'll actually get viewers on Kick. Maybe. Maybe one day. That day is probably not going to be today. Probably not. Volumes 9 and 10. Load them up. Okay, got those. And now I just put the images we got from Anne into the chat. I will number them so my life is easier. You'd think because they're dated, that means when you put them into fucking... Oh wait, is it gonna actually show it if I do it? Wait, hold on. There's a way for me to make it so that I can... Yes, here we go. Studio mode. So now I can do things and you guys won't actually see it yet. Yes, okay, there we go. Welcome. Oh my god, you can barely see the screen you're trying to edit this stuff on when it happens, though.
I have problems with this week's reading.
Oh boy. Don't worry. We'll discuss all that.
Also, are you live?
Yes.
Cool. I got packages, so we're gonna open those.
Nice. We're in pre-show memes right now.
Yeah, we're in pre-show memes.
I'm actually surprised you got here at this time. I thought you said you were going to be a bit late.
I bolted. I'm very sweaty. It's hot. And I'm gross. Okay, let's crank open these bad boys and see what I got. Package number 1 of 3 is...
What is it?
Let's see. Heavy. Jesus Christ. Oh. It is my Familiar Zero mangas.
Oh my god.
So we've got volume 1, 2, 3, and 4 in this bundle right here. Interesting. I thought that they would ship as omnibuses, but they are the individual volumes. And I think the thing that is most interesting is the cover art is actually sideways instead of vertical. So that is pretty cool. Obviously, they still read vertically. I started working on the light novel while I was at work today when I finished summertime rendering. So we'll see how that turns out. That is all for the package. So I don't know when I'll start reading these because I think my next goal is I have a copy of the Barnes & Noble exclusive Indiana Jones books for the first 3 movies, so I think I'm going to read that next.
Okay.
Package number 2 is... Actually, I think I know what this is. I bought a sketchbook. That's what I think it is. It is. So I bought a sketchbook that has black instead of white pages because I saw this Instagram post about somebody like painting plants on like a sketchbook with black pages, and I wanted to try it. So I got this very nice hardbound black paper sketchbook that has like a blood moon on it in the desert. So it's like red on the cover, and it's pretty sick. So that's the second package, which means either the third package is the last couple volumes of the Familiar Zero, because I think Or actually, maybe no, that's it. No, I'm waiting for 5, 6. I think it's 7 and 8. That was like the really obscenely expensive one. That was like $120 for 2 mangas. So I was not gonna buy that, unfortunately.
I'm sorry, you said it was how much?
$120 for the last 2 mangas of Familiar of Zero.
Jesus
it was fucking
Christ.
insane. I think I sent you guys a screenshot, which is really disappointing because now I have the rest of the series, I have all of the light novels, and I've seen the entire anime, and I consider buying the anime on Blu-ray, so I'm just missing those 2 mangas. So that's mildly irritating, but because I don't think that those last 2 mangas, or those other 2 of the series have shipped, I believe the last one is the new Pokemon cards. So Pokemon just released their next set of Pokemon cards for the Scarlet Violet generation, Scarlet and Violet 151.
Yeah.
I pre-ordered them so I could get them as soon as possible. So I'm pretty sure the release date was a couple days ago. So I now have 2 more boxes of Elite Trainer boxes. I have actually I think one of these is just the Obsidian Flames, and that has a Charmander on it, and then the other one is the Scarlet Violet 151 that has the Snorlax on it. So I will probably open those later because stream is going to start. Yes, I got a cute little Charmander box.
What a weird fish.
I don't understand whatever this joke is. I don't understand whatever this joke is.
Don't worry about it.
So yeah, I will either open these afterward on stream or probably just by myself.
Yo, back over stream?
Man, do I have something for stream? That totally isn't deja vu.
Alright, I am not screen sharing you showing it off this time.
God.
Fuck you.
Why not? But it's not broken this time.
You're gonna be insta demonetized again for memes? What the fuck, bro?
What if it breaks again?
Oh shit.
How funny would it be?
Hold on, I have more. I don't have packages. But I do have stream snack. So stream snack today is the lunch that I didn't eat. So it is a Smucker's Uncrustable with grape jelly. And then I have a kind dark chocolate, nuts, and sea salt granola bar with some extra protein. I have a bag of chili cheese Fritos. I'll probably try and mute myself while I eat those. I have 2 cheese sticks, and I have a cut up apple with some peanut butter. And then I have some water and some leftover lemonade that I bought when I was coming out of my class. And that is today's stream.
Not bad choices. I prefer the mean bars personally, but
the what?
The mean bars.
Yeah, this is about a
I
kind bar. Yeah.
Yeah,
it was a bad
got
joke.
it. Don't
worry. It was a bad joke. It was a bad joke.
He went to comedy school. Don't worry.
I did.
Oh,
I did go to comedy school.
It is academically funny. All right, you wouldn't understand. You wouldn't get it.
I'm so a comedian myself.
You just, you don't have the education to appreciate it, It's just...
Yeah. As far as getting here early, I honestly didn't expect it. I thought that going to the mailroom would be longer.
Okay, let me make sure I got volumes all set.
See, I was going to be here early, but then Persona 5 happened, and I couldn't save.
I was rolling up 1,000 labels.
1,000 labels? What?
More like 600 because I gave up.
Why?
Because memes.
Sure.
We'll go with
things
that.
Are in the making, okay? We're not talking about it yet, but things are in the making, okay?
Things are in the
little
making.
e-commerce business, okay?
Oh boy, someone's branding and everything. Okay.
Time to open up YouTube because I don't care about Twitch, but a little lasagna is in the YouTube chat, so I gotta make sure that I'm there.
Oh yeah, hold on, wait, you're right, hold on.
We got every and all chats up in here, okay? We got the YouTubes, we got the Kicks, we got the Twitches.
Shoes?
Yeah, that's an app.
Oh, another one.
Maybe one day we'll get somebody that watches these streams in the Kick chat. One day.
It's not happening. It's not happening.
We're not streaming on OnlyFans. It's not happening.
I don't even know
why not?
We're also not streaming on Twitter because fuck that.
That's called X now.
Oh, I'm sorry, it's called X.
Twitter.
Yeah. I'm not streaming on any platform that tries to call itself X. I'm sorry, that's just not gonna happen.
It's funny because he bought it because his ex made him mad.
I know that technically we haven't started, but I loved the covers for these 2 volumes. I think that the
Yeah.
covers for these 2 volumes, and then I got a sneak peek of 11, obviously, because I switched to the next chapter. Oh my god, they're so beautiful. I've been loving them.
Right.
Yeah, the
Yeah.
art just continues to be really good.
It's just he's the GOAT. Tanaka is the GOAT when it comes to art. He's just in there.
What else has he drawn?
Well, I have
My
some.
hero.
No, don't spoil. I got memes. Okay, I got extra lore about the author. I have to reveal to the stream. Okay. I'm trying to see if Turando is usually what this is gonna be here. I thought Turando had an alt in this server. I just don't remember who it is. I know somebody joined and had his alt join at the same time. I just forget who it is. I don't know if that was Turando or someone else, but somebody did.
Alright, quick question.
Yeah, what's up?
Not talk to you, Wolfborg. Talk to Ann.
Huh?
Alright, so I usually do my work while we're doing these streams. But unfortunately, I'm caught up in everything. So do I either get ahead in math or accounting?
I think both math.
Math.
Alright, cool. Thanks.
Apparently, the question wasn't to me. I was told I can go fuck myself, so I'm not even gonna bother anything.
Sorry, Wolfborg. You're not a college student. You
I
understand.
was once upon a time.
That's fair.
I think I'm the only one in here
who's
who's finished college so far, so I don't know, but
Oh, Derek.
yeah, what's up?
I think I got you beat on shitty Windows issues now. Because I had to
yeah?
reinstall my entire operating system.
Uh,
Because for some reason, my operating system got a memory leak where after about 15 to 20 minutes, my entire system would freeze. And the mouse would just inch along the fucking screen.
rip.
That's funny.
So I had to reinstall Windows.
That is mad comedy. You're
I
right.
ordered a replacement motherboard before the stream for my motherboard. I didn't realize until I checked Amazon to like see what a replacement cost. I've had that motherboard since like 2019, but it only really shit the bed whenever I installed. Well, it started when I installed the heat sinks that you recommended I installed.
That's
the fans or whatever they were. But that I don't think the fans were the problem. I'm pretty sure something about when I installed them shorted one of my my RAM slots, and then everything got fucked.
I recommended you a known good heatsink, okay, like a known best in line. You can't blame me. The installation went bad.
It was very known good. Okay, I wasn't the only one who had that issue, by the way. So if I get this next motherboard, which I know worked prior to installing that fan, and it also has the same issue, I don't know what to blame, and I don't know who to blame for it. So
how many of the pictures did you put in your setup?
all of them except for the shower one.
Yeah. Okay, that's fair.
Which
what about the one where we found out there were people?
Even that shower one, I'm pretty sure I could put in because it's like censored. I just don't want to risk it. So,
no,
and also,
it was
you
just...
said never mind anyway. So, I mean, we could talk about that scene if you wanted to bring up some meme. But
no. I just thought that it was really funny, and you were the only other person who I knew had seen it, so I only wanted to send it to you. So I just thought it was funny.
Okay, but yes, I got all your memes.
The shower scene is when she's like, "Don't worry, if that happens, I'll kill you."
Yes, that one.
That was an awesome scene. The book should, I mean, the manga is just getting better and better.
The sheriff is so good. I love him so much. I sent Chap several pictures that I wanted everybody to at least see because they were so funny.
What the fuck is Turando's at? I try to at Turando and he doesn't show up.
We mean try it. We mean he doesn't show up.
I try to at Turando and they don't show up. Did they change their name?
It's Turnado.
I don't see anything. I go at TU nothing. Did they change their name? Hold on, let me scroll up a bit. This is where I get confused. He joined, and I think somebody joined, and his alt joined. I don't know if that was actually Turando too. I don't know. Oh, their name is now 123.
Oh, okay.
All right.
You know, I'm sort of a comedian myself.
You joining this week? What? Their name is now 123, and their profile picture is the default. Did they get hacked? What happened? Oh my god.
Drifting. Maybe they're having a mental breakdown.
Oh jeez, don't do that.
And we're just like with Persona 5. What a coincidence.
Well, they were posting things last night about SpongeBob I'm Ready memes. And then...
Yeah, and when I was looking at it while I was reading like this afternoon, their profile was fine.
Things getting a little sus among us.
Oh, I don't know. Well, I added them. They could show up if they're gonna show up. In the meantime, we should probably get started because we're already falling asleep.
Sorry, the Google Earth was so fucking funny.
Goggle. Okay. All right, let me take off the pre-show thing, and we will get started. All right, welcome everybody once again to another exciting week of the Anime Book Club here on the Wolfborg channel, up on YouTube, Twitch, and Kick. We're on all the memes, all of them at the same time. Some of them don't like that. I don't care. And they're not going to stop me anytime soon, okay? Actually, yeah, it's pretty much just Twitch. It's only Twitch. Twitch is the only one that does like you doing it, okay? Fuck Twitch, okay? They want to ban me, they can. I don't give a fuck. They're not going to do it because they're cowards, okay? They're
Kick's
cowards.
like, please also stream somewhere else, please. And mention your own Kick while you do it, please.
Bro, I started to get to, like, know some Kick streamers and, like, some other servers. Some of them just legit sit there and, like, just watch copyrighted movies and stuff on their streams. Oh, yeah. I didn't realize just how bad it was over there. I was like,
bro, you need to get into this. You need to get into this slot grift where they just pay you like $100 grand a month.
That's what I'm finding out.
Not gamble your own money.
There's a lot of fucking gamble fucking deals and streamers doing that. I thought it was already bad enough with like their sexual content with their streamers, but man, there's so much out there. Kick is wild. Anyways, we don't do that here. Okay, we're civilized here. Mostly
I would take a hot tub streamer over like children gambling illegally with Bitcoin and losing their fucking life savings at 15, you know?
It costed them $1 billion.
True, very much true. That said, if Steak ever did want to reach out and throw me a shit ton of money, I am glad to.
That being said, morals have a price.
Based. Okay, so
honestly, $10K a month, I have no morals.
All right, so that's where we're at. We're on all the streams. I'm able to sell out if people have the money. Okay, this is what something I'm willing to do. But for this week, we're going to be talking about Summertime Rendering, volumes 9 and 10. We're getting closer and closer to the end. Closer and closer. And this week, we have the usual cast minus one person who may or may not join us later. We're not entirely sure yet. First of all,
next time on Dragon Ball Z.
True. So first of all, you got me. You know me. You're here on the channel. You know my stuff. I talk about anime. All my opinions are correct. That's a fact. Look it up. And then we have my boy Justin.
What's up? It's your boy Justin.
With a brand new Pickle Rickabong, okay?
God damn it.
I'm not allowed to show it on stream this time, apparently.
Well, after unfortunately getting a broken bong in the mail that we totally didn't see at all prior to breaking, he's now gotten a replacement.
I totally didn't shatter live and then immediately emailed the company and was like, yeah, it didn't survive shipping.
Brilliant. Excellent. Amazing.
To be fair, in my defense, I paid for shipping insurance. They probably just immediately rung it up through there and shipped the shipping insurance. Probably didn't cost them anything either.
Okay, try not to break it, okay? So, all right. So next up, we have Nyan Bacon. Introduce yourself again.
Heyo, I'm Nyan Bacon on all profiles. I should be having some art out soon, knock on wood. Doing some fun trades with some of my capstone peers. So go join me there.
Oh my god, go do that. All of the things. Check out all the socials, all the links. And then we have Shadow Man.
I stream Mega Man stuff.
Wow. Amazing. Astounding.
I also make some funny thumbnails. I just sent my most recent one in the chat.
They are very funny Mega Man inside jokes. If you love Mega Man, I'm sure you'll appreciate those jokes.
Derek, just to derail instantly really quick, I had one super quick.
Let's go!
Oh no.
Do you know, so besides like Dropbox, or if Dropbox is good for this, do you know anything where you can take photos on your phone and like immediately cloud it to a file on your PC?
I wish I knew a good solution for that. Most of them are dog shit. Google Drive is dog shit. Dropbox is dog shit.
The only good solution I've seen so far is airdropping with like iPhone. I don't want to do that because you can like airdrop like a plug-in hard drive, and that seems super good.
What I've discovered is pretty cool. You can, if you have like a Bluetooth thing with your computer, you can connect your phone to it, and with that, you can make it so that if you like copy something on your phone, you can instantly also have it on your PC, which has been amazing for me with the translation stuff where I have to like scan something.
Photos like immediately.
It's actually dog shit for like actual phone calls on PC though, I've discovered, but for other things, it's pretty cool.
Phone calls don't work for shit, but if it works for photos, that would be helpful.
I think it did also show some photos once you connected, but I think it was like weird, like you could only see ones that you took a photo of with your camera, not anything you downloaded on your phone or something like that.
That's all I need.
All right, well then that might
Like
be
I just
something
need to
for
be able to take photos and then immediately have them available on my PC. That's like all I'm looking for with my phone.
All right, well, you can check that out and see if that works. So there you go with that. So that's the cast that we have this week, all four of us. And then our usual fifth that we'd had for the series, Turando, doesn't seem to be here. Maybe he'll show up later. We're not sure, but we'll see.
I know
we'll
next
see.
time on Dragon Ball Z.
True.
God damn it! Shut up.
Damn. When you gotta get Dragon Ball Z, okay? When are you gonna watch Dragon Ball Z? When are you gonna binge all of it?
I'm not.
Spice
you
it up. Do
insane?
next time on the Big Bang Theory instead, or something.
No, we
Do
don't want.
something
We don't want to watch.
funnier.
No, we don't want to watch Big Bang Theory. Okay, we want to watch Dragon Ball Z. Okay, you wouldn't get. Maybe if
Hey,
you watch
Big Bang-
Dragon Ball,
Wait! I just realized. Okay, hold on. I gotta go for the next one.
Okay, well,
Big Bang Theory was good for like one season.
Okay,
When they made actual physics jokes, and then they went, "Oh, normies are watching this. Let's
true,
make
amazing.
normie jokes."
I agree wholeheartedly. Now, let's not talk about Big Bang Theory or Mega Man or
They
Dragon
don't make
Ball.
sitcoms like they used to, you know.
You know what's my favorite sitcom? Summertime Rendering. Okay, that's my favorite sitcom. All
My
right.
favorite's Breaking Bad, but you know.
Okay, amazing.
I have
My
things
favorite
to say.
character is
Okay.
Yuisho. I
All right,
hope nothing
stop,
happens to her.
Stop with the meat. Stop. Okay,
Sorry,
all right.
what?
Listen, Summertime Rendering. This week we're doing volumes 9 and 10. Okay.
But Yuisho isn't. Sorry,
Okay. Spoilers. Oh my god. Did you know? Listen.
No, she's
Look,
not.
they did
dead.
the Mega Man
She's
X.
fine.
They did it.
She'll be fine. Don't worry. She'll walk it off.
No,
Okay.
she's not. She's not.
They better
dead.
not cop
I was-
out. She should be dead. Like,
No,
listen.
she's not, because she literally mitosis'd from fucking Hiroko. That was the whole thing, was the fact that she was literally born as like a sister to Heine. That's what she was saying. So she might as well be like the
What?
quote unquote heir to the throne.
What? Hold on. I have to. You guys can keep talking. I just have to fix something with my stream thing.
No,
think
because
you
she
do that
said
real
that
quick.
she came from Heine's split.
All right, we'll get to that eventually.
Oh, I have so many things to say about these two volumes. You have no fucking idea.
We'll start saying.
Yeah. Okay.
Okay.
So yeah, what do you got to discuss?
Okay. Number one, sorry, he had sex with a child? Are you fucking kidding me? That
Okay.
was so
All right, hold on.
weird!
We
That
need
was
yes,
so
yes,
Wait, hold
yes,
on.
yes.
Yeah,
we need a lot
yeah.
more. We need to reveal a lot more context for this. Okay. So we're jumping a lot of steps ahead here. Okay. All right. Volume 9. Let's start with Volume 9. Volume 9. We're starting off at the Hishigata clinic. Okay, the father's getting killed by the shadow mother there, right? And we find out that basically the Hiroko, or whatever, the Heine, whatever we're calling her these days, okay, is sending the signal, hey, fucking kill the doctor, betray them now, or whatever. Ushio and all them stop that.
It'll be funny.
Ushio and all them stop that. They rewire the mother to not be evil shadow anymore, and then they get the doctor on their side. And then we learn more about some of the backstory, but we get way more of the backstory at the beginning of Volume 10 about what's going on with the shadows. See, because, and this is something I do want to bring up, because we are going to be talking about, Shide and all the fucked up shit that he's doing, because Shide, who's supposed to be the four-armed fucking shadow, which was, we were told before, there's a person inside of Shide. Now we understand how it works. They're basically like wearing this mud armor of shadow powers. They're like,
What was Evangelion?
they're like sort
But
of
I have
human.
something to say about that too.
About the mud armor? What do you have to say about the mud armor?
Mhm.
What do you have to say about it?
Because it shouldn't have worked. In that scene at the end of Volume 10, where Ryunosuke was fighting him, Ryunosuke basically destroyed the armor except for his feet. Where was the person in that? Where did he go?
Well, they were just saying it somehow it defies logic or some dumb shit like that. Okay, I don't know.
Yeah, but also right now, like we've seen his body get murked multiple times, so there's clearly something going on.
Also, why are there two of them?
That I think is going to get revealed to us later. I'm assuming that there was two clones at that point. I'm assuming there was two of them. One of them was behind the scenes helping out, and the other one was running the shrine and acting like everything was fine.
Okay.
That's my assumption. I don't know for sure yet, but because one of them didn't have a burn on their hands, so we know that the one at the gym at the time was the one with the burn on their hands, which was the one that showed up and killed Ushio.
And now the team has been split up, so they're each fighting one.
Haven't we
Right.
seen him get like killed more than once though so far? Or did we just see that
because
one time with your show?
We've seen the armor get hurt, but we haven't seen the person himself get killed.
Yeah.
Oh, maybe he has multiple bodies or something.
I'm assuming it's multiple, because the whole thing about he's been living for 300 years, quote unquote, where really he just keeps
being reborn.
It keeps being physically reborn as a human, but with weird shadow power. He's like half shadow, half human, or something like that. Because
what if he's just having her do it? Like he just had her have a shitload of him, so he's got spare bodies, and he can like transfer between them.
I
or
got them all
some
in
shit.
this closet.
Well, like if shadows can already like move their fucking mind and shit, or like copy minds and stuff, how do we know there's not like 53 Shides and they're just tag teaming in even in the armor?
That may be the case.
I think that's what Chap is suggesting.
I think that's probably the case, but the mud shadowy armor thing or whatever that he uses can only be used by like one of them, because otherwise there'd be a ton of them with using that shadow armor. That's what I'm assuming is happening.
Yeah, maybe. Well, unless they're like transferring his mind, and so he can only use one at a time because it's his mind, and the clones are just like strays or something.
Well, so
his mind.
A lot of that backstory was dealing with the idea of like these shadows, because they have a perfect copy of their personalities and memories and stuff. It's essentially like the same thing as an actual human. There's a discussion at some point with somebody, about how it was when Shinpei goes to confront him, and there's a discussion like, have you heard of the Swamp Man thought experiment or whatever? And the priest basically says like, well, we lose ourselves, our cells die and get recreated every now and then. It's just a question of like, how fast it happens. If it happens instantly, we call it cloning.
Yeah, it's like Theseus' ship or whatever.
Yeah. So, there's a lot of question about like, is this the original anymore at this point? But does it matter?
Can I get a couple things up before I forget, though?
Okay, yeah. What do you got?
Forget. So this is a concept that keeps coming up, and I've seen it in other media, where it's like they've alluded to Shinpei, like would he be able to kill an actual person instead of just a shadow? Like they alluded to Mr. Nezu said something like, "Oh, you might be able to cross the line" or whatever.
Yeah.
So I understand like killing a person, obviously. 99% of humans wouldn't be able to do that. But if you like died like 6 fucking times at this point and you saw your friends and family get murdered in front of you like repeatedly, I think capping the asshole responsible wouldn't actually cause an emotional response besides joy. Like I think if you took any normal person and you put them through the torture Shinpei just went to, when it's like it's still murder, it's like I don't think most people would be like, this is still murder at that point. I think they would just immediately pull the trigger and be like, oh, this is the cunt who keeps sending me back and murdering my friends.
I don't know. I feel like that's something you say just because you're watching like it as media, or like because you're used to playing like like shooter games or something like that a lot. Like I feel like that's something you.
No, I know.
And,
obviously,
many other people would
person.
say that, but like in the actual situation, I don't know if it's really that easy to see it like.
I feel like when people are like he's mentally tortured at this point. Like,
well, it seems like his thing is he wants to try to remain as sane as he can without like giving into like that kind of impulse, even though he knows that it would save the day, I guess. But
I have something to say to that if I can.
Yeah.
I'm taking a class right now on the evolution of cooperation in human psychology and why it contributes to warfare. And the revenge is actually a very common reason for like nomadic groups to attack other people. So my professor is studying this group in Africa called the Turkana. And the Turkana actually very frequently, if they are attacked by another group, will go out and then attack that group. So while it's not necessarily a direct comparison to what Justin is saying, I think that it could be argued that there is some evidence in human psychology that at that point, revenge would rank higher in the human psyche than the fear or like the guilt of killing a person.
I saw a really interesting psychology video ages ago when it had to do with psychology of war. And it was talking about how in the modern era, you're training soldiers more to shoot on reaction instead of like target-based. Because you want them to react and shoot a person before they register it's a human being.
Yeah.
So it's more like you're dealing with that after the fact. And that's an ordinary person. Like at Shinpei's stage now, knowing a couple soldiers who
questions later.
like knowing a couple soldiers who killed people, like actually killed people, and like how they were before and after, it's like, I think Shinpei could do it pretty easily.
I understood it. Well, in that scene specifically,
it was just a gripe I had. I like this is just a general gripe that I see a lot.
No, I understand it. When I read that scene with him confronting Shide and him hesitating to kill him, and then Ushio showing up to kill the original Shide, I guess that was like more like him. It sounded like he was conflicted with his bird's eye view. Like, oh, wait a minute, why wouldn't he have a burn on his arm? What the fuck does that mean? It sounded like he was just too busy trying to think of what that meant and not wanting to fall into some weird trap. Instead of like just shooting him or whatever. Even though if he did just shoot him, Ushio wouldn't have had to come out and Ushio wouldn't have died. That that would have been prevented, I guess. But I feel like it was just like he was trying to metagame too much at that point, at that moment, and then he panicked, and then Ushio
he for sure fucking dropped the ball in that one.
Oh, absolutely, that was definitely his fault. And
I was like 100%. You just have Mr. Nezo takes Shide out from fucking across from the trees, and you don't even interact with him if you're in this position, like actually.
Yeah.
Like you don't go near the big bad forearm dude who's been the boss this entire time, more so than even the fucking ancient god.
I will also mention, because I don't think we actually clarified for stream yet, we're referring to him as Shide now because the guy has been revealed as Shide. Shide was actually the priest of the town Masahito Karikiri, I think his name was, or
Karikiri. I think so.
Yeah. So the priest dude, who I was surprised at this. I was thinking like at some, because we're introduced to him with like a name, like a name drop underneath him, like the other people in the main cast of, and we'd like only saw him like 2 times where he was just rambling about lore for like 30 minutes or whatever, and everybody told him to shut the fuck up. So I was wondering like when he was going to enter the picture again, and then he shows up to be revealed to be the bad guy.
So that whole thing also confused me because I'm still not sure of what happened to the family lines. Like, who was the original Shide? Was it the brother to Karikiri?
So
the original Karikiri? Like,
for all intents and purposes, Shide is Karikiri. The problem is they're not directly the original body Karikiri. So they're 300 years old mentally, in that they've been reincarnated 300 times as like an exact copy, pretty much. Well, not an exact copy. They get reborn in a physical body as a baby, but their memories are moved into the new body as well. So I think he said that the current body is like 40 or 50 years old, but mentally is like 300 years old, because 300 years ago was when the original Shadow Hiruko appeared. From what I remembered, it was in theory, they're not entirely sure about it. The original Hiruko Shadow or whatever came from a meteorite, went into the ocean, gained some forms based on like ocean creatures, lived there for a while until they copied a whale. And then the whale beached up on the island where...
it's starting to sound like To Your Eternity. I've just noticed.
It does. It starts off very similar to that.
Yeah, right.
The only difference is it immediately copies like this farm girl there, Haine, with an A, not an E. I thought I was losing my mind. I was like, wait, did they change her fucking name? No, they've been spreading it with an E before. So that's just how they distinguish the Shadow version, the original version. So Haine with an A was the original. She got copied and immediately killed by the Shadow that cloned her. And I guess, and I don't know if this is something where we're going to find out the details in between what happened to set up everything going on with the past stuff, but I guess the Shadow was going to like take over the whole island, but then they ended up teaming up with Karikiri, who is not a Shadow. They are a person who is like their guardian, and they're Heine's child, actual child, not Shadow child, but like with weird Shadow Mud abilities. And so the fucked up thing that Anne brought up before is just the fact that to do that, they don't physically copy the body like a Shadow copying. It was literally Heine in the fucking little farmer girl body getting physically pregnant from her to
Bro, she's like
a new one.
20,000 years old. It's legal.
Listen, okay, I just think
I'm
the
joking.
fucking
That's the typical
idea,
argument.
the fucking like I don't know why. Okay,
that was so fucking weird.
I don't know.
So I have several bullet points on it. Actually, not necessarily because of how fucked up that was, but because I'm so confused by the family line. So is Shirahiko Hishigata
Yes.
also Karikiri, which means Karikiri
Yes.
is So and Tokiko's grandfather?
They are related, but their family, quote unquote, separated a while ago. They mentioned. I was a little confused about it too, but it was something like they were the original founder of the Hishigata clinic. Then his part of the family split off, changed his name to the Karikiris, and they split. So they must have been a brother or something of somebody at that time. But so Tokiko and So is that his name? Yeah. So they would be related to Shide in some way, but like that was before he started becoming like weird shadow things, I'd assume, because like whoever would be related to Shide at that time, the Katakiri person, their relatives would have had other siblings and continued on as the Hishigata. And this is also why the Hishigata clinic ended up having that tradition of working with the shadows and being given like a shadow as a gift to like assist them, and that's why their nurse is like a shadow assistant that they have, whose goal is to take care of Heine or whatever. So they've been related. I don't know what the point is of saying that they're related though. I don't really know if that adds anything, but I don't know if maybe that's going to play into something later.
Also,
I'm almost curious if maybe it's why Tokiko is able to control Rosencrantz and Guildenstern, but just
it might be. It might be something like that. Justin, what were you saying?
I thought she was able to control them because Hine ordered them to, and then Yushio severed the bond, so now they still just have that order.
I think that it would be interesting, but I don't think that that's...
Well, she was like ordering them like it was natural, like she's done it before, so it didn't really seem like something that like she had a new ability for.
Yeah.
But
well, no, I meant like literally, like I think Heine just said, "Hey, follow this girl's orders," and then when Yushio set the bond, the last order they had was follow this girl's orders, so they just will do it.
Maybe
because they're straight, so they don't like have their own mind, right?
Maybe as cool as Tokiko and like the Rosencrantz and Guildenstern like thing is, we really didn't develop too much of Tokiko. I like wanted more. We had the whole reveal of like I've been helping the shadows. I had to do it because so they don't you value human life too much or whatever. I could be a little more cold or something like that.
That's what I was gonna ask. Was the scene where it's like you value or you feel the weight of a human life. That's why it couldn't be YouTube. And then Sue was like, "Oh, you should be apologizing to Kiko for saying that."
Yeah,
I thought that was a really interesting scene.
Yeah, because really, like it was just him saying that she's cold, but like. At the same volume, I think, we're also getting... I don't know, maybe this was just me. It seemed like Tokiko had feelings for Mio that just she's never said. It
seemed like... I thought there was some like lesbian shit going on for a second.
Yeah.
I didn't notice.
I didn't even catch on to that.
Because there were scenes
No, because
before.
like this... And there was a scene, like the last volume, where... in volume 10 where she's like, I want to know all about you, Mio. Like she drops shit like that. She like says like flirty shit to Mio occasionally.
I saw that and then I remember
Mio gets flustered.
I saw that and then I remembered a previous scene in one of the volumes where they were just sitting on stairs together. Mio's wondering where Shinpei is and they're just I don't know. It seemed like I forget what the exact line was in this volume, but it seemed like Tokiko had something going on, feelings towards Mio.
It was like, she said something like, I want to learn all about you, Mio, or something like that, and like a really weird, and Mio got flustered over it.
I'm just saying, I feel like, I'm just saying Tokiko should have had more kind of involvement with at least what we got to learn about her, and even in terms of like that whole family, even so, I don't feel like we learned too much about him other than his father thought he was too fucking nice.
Except that he's so empathetic.
Oh boy.
I'm sorry.
I don't know. There's some characters that like I do enjoy as characters now. I just kind of wish we had some time where this was like maybe a more traditional kind of. I say traditional, as in like some of the manga stories I'm more used to, where all these main characters that are an integral part of like defeating the big bad, we spend some time to learn a lot more about them, which we've been doing for stuff like Nagumo. But that's pretty much the main one. Like I would have liked to have a lot more backstory about the cop before he has some big thing later on. Maybe
I think that the fact that we don't know anything about him and he's there for just comedic relief. Well, I love that. He's so funny.
So I'm just saying, like, he is a funny dude. I also feel like I mean, I do root for him, of course, but stuff like that one volume where he's in the cave when Nagumo's scared shitless and he has to do this heroic thing to like help them save Shinpei or whatever. I don't know. Maybe something more than I'm just trying to impress Erica at the bar or whatever. I don't know.
Yeah, I think that's part of his appeal is because he's such a shallow character.
Yeah, that's true.
I want to give the author the benefit of the doubt with Tokiko and So, only because so much of at least these two volumes in particular have been about the fact that their family dynamic was structured around like the secret keeping of the shadows and now has been like completely shattered. So it's fair that we didn't get a whole lot of development or a reason to get attached to them. But I think the fact that, at least for So, coming forward and realizing all of the shit about their family, and then also Tokiko having the change of heart between the loops because of her being forced to remember the memories, in my opinion, that does make up for it a little bit. But I agree that I feel like at the very least we should have been given a reason to, I feel like we got for So, and a little bit Tokiko, but like more of a reason to root for them. Like you said with the sheriff.
Yeah. Like, I do want to also bring up the fucking father of Tokiko and So. When they save him from the shadow mother, like strangling her, and they try to tell him, hey, they're gonna betray you, he just immediately tries to shoot his daughter over it.
Yeah,
well, they explained that.
I was like, I understand why he did that. He did it because like the shadows promised to turn us into shadows and then we live forever, right? But it's like, man, no hesitation. Like, I have to kill my daughter now. Like,
well, yeah, because he's like brainwashed to that point where it's like immortality.
Yeah, that's fair. Still fucked though.
He was also just strangled to like within an inch of his life.
I did think it was a bit awkward where immediately after that they had the nurse show up, be like, "Oh, by the way, we're betraying you." Bye. Like,
yeah, that was a bit convenient.
I don't know.
Another thing is like another reason I don't think we know as much about the characters because the pacing has been like lightning fast.
I did want to mention that. So there's now a reason for it that the author has talked about. And I understand why it's like this now.
Yeah.
Their process with writing is, I'm not planning this out. I'm just continuing on with what I think the characters, like, what cool actions I think they would do next, was basically what he said. Right? He's
didn't
like,
even plot it out.
Well, I don't know if I necessarily say he didn't plot it out, but he did definitely have a different idea for the story, where originally the plot was only going to be 10 volumes. It was going to end at volume 10 with a different like kind of story. He mentioned this. But he got so immersed with the characters he had set up, the island environment they set up. That's why he gets so into the fucking lore dumps afterwards or whatever, which I do think are still cool. A lot of that's fueled by his love of video games. It sounded like from the afterward, he just talks about how like video games are like
definitely a cool universe.
Form. Yeah, it's pretty cool what he set up, and it's pretty cool like how he sets up this island area. But
are you guys saying that the pacing is too fast?
Not too fast.
No, I wouldn't say it's too fast. I would say it does feel like it's just kind of going along, though, if that makes sense. So like when they revealed Shide was actually the priest. And then immediately after, we have like several, like I think it was a whole chapter of just, oh, by the way, in this loop, you didn't know it, but they actually knew that he was the thing. I was like, no, this was something that he definitely was like, maybe he should have been like towards then, and then he made it like that. Like
I wouldn't say the pacing is too quick. I would say it's inconsistent. It feels inconsistent.
That's so funny because I'm actually annoyed by how these two chapters dragged on. I feel like, and I respect the author for getting involved and invested in his story, but I genuinely was so so fucking frustrated when Shide killed Shinpei in the most recent loop with his giant lance, which, by the way, badass fucking weapon. Love that weapon.
He
but
shows
I
up, lances
was like, I wasn't excited to read the next loop. I was sitting there like, are you fucking kidding me? They almost had him in that one, and I understand that, like, for writing purposes, it would be suspense, but to me, it was just annoying and tedious. And I think it should have ended at volume 10, and they should have won that last fight at the very least, and ended it at that. That's just my opinion, but it meant that, like, reading that following time loop is, like, really fucking frustrating for me.
Shide, when he had the lance and did that scene, reminded me a lot of if you've ever watched Fate.
Yes.
What's his name? The guy with the lance.
I forget his name. If Mika was here, she could tell us. But
the gilded asshole, you know.
Yeah.
That's who Shide started reminding me of.
With the lance thing, yeah.
Well, not just the lance, but his like whole personality and shit too. At this point.
Oh yeah. Yeah. I don't know. I'm fine with the sudden killing of Ushio, although I did think it was like abrupt and kind of like, you know, I don't know if necessarily she's gone. There is some weirdness going on.
I have panels to argue that, but I was waiting to pull them out.
Okay,
go ahead.
Speaking of your panels, okay, so you sent me several. I don't know which ones you want me to. I can go in order of what you sent me, or.
Okay, I want for this particular argument, I want you to pull up. Oh fuck! Did I send it? Yes, I did. I want you to pull up the eye panel that I sent you.
Okay.
And I want you to pull actually both of them. So the one where the eye, it showed the disemboweled eye, and then the one that was the close up on Ushio's eye. I think I sent them one right after.
Okay. Oh, so here's the eye from Heine on screen.
And I want them to be right next to each other because those are the lines of dialogue.
I didn't set it up for that, but
okay. Well, whatever.
I can move them around.
So in the first, the one that's talking about the split with Heine, I think that was important to my argument that I don't think Ushio is dead, because she's talking about the fact that basically I think her argument is that Heine did a mitosis of some sort. So now it's not just Heine that is Hiriko, or like the human quote unquote embodiment of Hiriko, but it is now both Heine and Ushio. And in my head, that is reinforced later by the fact that it seems like something foreign takes over Ushio and has her say because something takes over her and tells her to say that. So I think that Ushio is basically essentially on the level of a god, like on the level of Hiriko, on the level of Heine, but she's not aware of it because, as they say it, she's like busted. But I think that it's because she's as powerful as she is. She has like those rewriting capabilities. My other reasoning for arguing that she's not dead is they didn't focus on it enough in the manga. It did have a couple panels where it was showing Shinpei's like guilt and grief and stuff, but they just totally glossed over it with all of the other characters. Even in an action scene or an action manga like that, if the character was going to stay dead, they would have focused on that and emphasized it so much more. And you probably think that I'm bullshitting that, but I'm not.
No, I get it.
No, that sounds completely reasonable.
Yeah, we get it.
Yeah. So I wholeheartedly believe that Ushio is not dead.
Damn it.
Well, she's at least like something happened. Like she may come back, but she is dead in the sense of like all the items she copied are like gone in the next loop. Which has severely nerfed Shinpei. We like immediately.
Doesn't have a god anymore.
Prior to that confrontation, him and Ushio had saved some kids from the neighborhood from getting killed by a shadow version of the island's teacher. I guess there's only one fucking teacher, I guess. And like clones of the kids or whatever. So they had saved the kids and then went to continue on stuff. When Ushio dies and Shinpei loops back, he goes back to that incident. Like I think it was right after they killed them, but like it was right after, but there was still one that showed up, copied the little girl there, and then more shadows showed up, and it was like,
well, no, that was Heine.
Right. Okay. So that was Heine showing up, and you know that was a whole thing where it's Now he's like, well, I can't do anything. Ushio's not here to fight them. I don't have the copied weapon from her. I'm like super nerfed. I don't know what the fuck to do. And at that point, I'm like, oh, you're fucked, because now they're also there and they're like, oh, so you just returned. That means we're going to kill you now and then we'll be done with you. And he's like, oh, fuck. He's like double fucked. He's like super double omega fucked. And then they run away once he like starts touching the seashell or something like that. And I'm like, oh no, there's some weird Ushio seashell god connection bullshit going on. I don't like that. Now we got a MacGuffin here. I don't know.
I feel like it puts it the mer people.
God damn it!
It is mer people. If she came from the ocean, it counts as mer people.
I told you.
I mean, I guess Hiroko did turn into a whale, and like when she originally landed, quote unquote, she was fish. So like,
mer people.
I guess this
the whole
is
time.
wrong.
We dudded him. He was right.
No one ever believed me.
I still don't believe you.
I have 5 other notes.
Okay, what are your notes?
Okay. I will just say them verbatim. I said, the Shrine Keeper being into video games is so funny.
Yes.
He's
the author insert. I read that and I'm like, this is the author insert right here. Where he's going on long rambles and he's going on video.
Insert.
He's the author of lore.
So Shide's gonna actually be the bad guy, right?
He was hyped for
being Heine.
He was talking about Final Fantasy VII Remake. He was hyped for it. I was like, this is the author self-insert. He made himself the villain. Oh my god.
I didn't even think about that. I was thinking about how, like I was saying with the isekai a couple weeks ago, it felt like a subversion of expectations. And I think that it was also a hint that it was Shide. I don't remember where I was going with that. Anyway, I was going to say that I thought that it was really interesting and funny because you go into these and expect it maybe to be a little bit like European monks, like Christian monks. Yeah. Where they're very sheltered. So I thought that it was really funny that like this priest who's been watching over the island for the last 50 years is like super into video games. I thought that was
I mean, he's like an island for who knows how long. You gotta do something. He's 3 years old.
True.
So just pointing this out, since Shide is clearly the author insert, he's also gonna secretly be the genius mastermind pulling their strings in the background, including on Heine, right? That's what's gonna end up
that's
happening.
What I've been assuming ever since we saw the forearm dude.
Like the real bad guy.
That's what I've been assuming, but now I don't know if that's the case. I feel like Heine's still controlling shit because
I think
Heine's not
controlling.
Heine's
I feel
not,
like
we had multiple times, we had like 300 years worth of times where Heine lets this dude impregnate her. I don't think the dude would have won the fight if like, he was taken over against her.
Unless he has some
long con.
Yeah, a long con, or he has something over her that he's tricking her with, or she's weaker than she realizes. And he found a weakness.
I don't know. I mean, I agree that feels like what it's coming to, but at the same time, like
I think she's going to be the main bad guy.
I think Heine has been enough of an underdog, and she's very obviously Hiroko. And I feel like Shide has been set up as something that can't be defeated in that sense. Now, I will point out, he's the only shadow that has the inverted eyes. That's weird.
Yeah.
Also, so just saying, right? Just throwing this out here. New prediction, okay? Heine is the innocent mer person who just wanted a family.
Oh my god.
Who got corrupted, they were talking about. Yeah, innocent mer person who just wanted a family. Shide is using the festival to actually gain power, and Shide is actually going to take the power from Heide, or is using Heine's power somehow. And he's actually gunning for something much bigger, is my guess.
But if that was the case, wouldn't it be shown that in the original one that Shide was the one sending the shadows out from the island to Tokyo? Because it was Heine in that very first loop, or the second loop, or whatever. I don't fucking remember.
Right. The first festival incident, pretty much.
Yeah. I feel like because it was revealed much later that they knew that Shinpei was looping, I feel like Shide would have revealed that was his plan in that very first one before Heine gets all of the power from consuming the people. Because if that was his plan all along and they didn't know about the time loops, that's when he would have enacted.
Unless he's like a leech or something. We don't know how this whole hybrid fucking human shadow shit works. And if Ushio can fucking delete Heine in a weakened state, maybe Shida Shida's just seems broken. So I wouldn't put it past
I
him.
agree. Either Shide seems broken, or it's I don't even know if it's Shide as much as it is specifically the mud armor. Like, it argues that Karikiri, the reason he can control it is because he's half shadow, half human. But like, Tokiko can also control shadows. Ushio can also control shadows. So while they were saying like it's a corpse armor, it still is technically shadow. So what happens when somebody else gains the capabilities to control that?
So,
or if fucking Shinpei's eye currently is Heine's eye, right? What's stopping him from being able to control it?
So
what if he can? He just doesn't know.
In terms of the shadow armor, okay, at some point during the Shadow Mio interview, they said that Heine refers to like the like old shadows that are like the material the physical shadows are made of as like mud or something like that. And they also refer to the armor as mud. So my idea in my head is that the way the shadow armor that Shide is using works is that it's just like very, very old like shadow like strays that have like deformed and can't like have it like an actual form or whatever. And that's why it's
like
able to do a whole
liquefied.
bunch. Yeah, they're like liquefied
generated
to do
to
a
a
whole bunch
liquid
of random
form.
stuff. So
I think that is what it is.
Yeah, so it's just like they're doing that, but the one towards the end when they're the Ushio, the one that kills Ushio, and then Shinpei like starts shooting or whatever, and like that seemed like it was doing a little bit more than I would have expected that kind of ability to do, though. But I don't know. There is still the whole question of why is there two of them. My guess is still that maybe there's just multiple clones of them, and there might be more that we find out about later, and you got to fight like fucking 500 Shides or something like that. I don't know.
Oh God.
But so one big question I do have, okay. What is the is the end goal for Shide to overthrow Heine's power?
That's my guess.
Or was he just trying to reawake Heine's powers? Or like, I don't. In my head, if you've been alive on this island for 300 years, is there really a reason that you had to keep Heine in hiding for that long? I feel like, especially if you're like the priest or whatever of the area, I feel like it's not going to be too hard for you to like introduce a few people, or if you're trying to like, make some kind of island for shadows to be able to live in. I feel like there are easier ways to do that within 300 years than waiting 300 years to start some festival sacrifice thing. I feel like there's a lot of like subtler ways to do this. What was that?
My guess would be population growth. It took 300 years to be able to acquire enough people where if they kill them instantly, Heine then has enough power to be able to rise up and do what her plan is. So it took enough time for them, because they were also slowly picking off people to keep Heine fed, right? So it would take 300, and it happened during the famine. So it just took 300 years to be able to build up that population again to the point where Heine/Hiroko was able to accumulate at once enough power to be able to accomplish her.
It also can't be a shitload of power, because like we talk about how she already ate in a loop once and she keeps the data, so she successfully ate everyone at the festival, like they said it.
Didn't you mention how it was diminishing returns at some point in this volume?
Oh, well, she said that she said for a moment that she was using the power chasing them. So it sounds like it doesn't use, like, it seems like, what's the word?
She doesn't need to eat them to survive. We know that, at least. She doesn't need to eat humans to survive. Yeah. She just chooses to. For some reason, humans are the only ones she chooses to eat. She doesn't choose to, like, survive on others. This is why she has to have the blood transfusions or whatever, and why she always looks like she's all damaged and shit. I don't know. I feel like at this point, leaning into now that I've talked to you guys about it, it probably is something like the priest guy is actually just trying to trick them somehow in some kind of way, make them think that, hey, I'm your guardian, I'm gonna help you do whatever you need to do to get your power again, and then he's gonna like turn around and betray Heine as well, and then Heine is gonna end up joining with everybody else to save the day.
No. I think I got it. I might be wrong, but I think I got it. So
if you see
mer people.
Listen, that would be hilarious. But
they're coming from the ocean. They're coming.
What I think it might actually be is that Shide has now found a way to steal the power. It's like so he doesn't rely on Heine for the clones anymore, and that's why he's moving forward. We don't know it yet, I'm assuming. But I bet you Shide figured out some way to either be permanent immortal, where he doesn't need to keep cloning from Heine, or he figured a way to like steal it from Heine to do it himself. And that's why it's taken so long, is because he just figured it out.
So here's another
deal.
question.
That's my guess.
Here's another quick question I have related to all of that.
Yeah.
The original Heine, was that implied to be Katakiri's daughter? Or was it just some other person's daughter? My assumption is that is his daughter.
I hope to God that it's some other guy's daughter, because that means that he fucked his own daughter.
Yeah, well, I mean, I'd imagine in his head, this is not my daughter anymore, or some weird shit like that. I don't know.
Stepdaughter. I'm kidding. I'm kidding.
I had that written down, and I deleted it after we had talked about the family lines. But I think that I had been under the impression that it was like his niece or his daughter or something, and I was like, it's already weird. But if it's incest, that's even fucking weirder.
I don't think it now that you mention that aspect of it,
you're a gamer.
Now that you mention that aspect of it, I don't think it will be that, or at least I hope it's not. Just because I can't really imagine, some character like wanting to do that kind of thing for whatever kind of plan he's trying to do in the future. I don't really know how you justify that unless they were already some kind of psychopath, I guess. I'd imagine they were probably. I'd imagine
questionable immortality.
Listen, I'd imagine they were just some other person's farm daughter, and that he was just trying to abuse the shadow person's power once he learned more about the shadow. Because I mean, they started the religion for the shadows or whatever, so he's been like studying all of how they're supposed to work and where they come from and all that.
I gotta figure it out. So the manga is gonna be close to an end. There's gonna be a standoff. She is gonna be like critically wounded. You're gonna have to stand off with the ultimate bad guy who's now critically wounded and saying his last words or whatever. And she is gonna hold up a photo of him and his daughter, who's Heine, and he's gonna be like, "Would you fuck her for immortality? I'd fuck her for immortality." It's gonna end.
Oh boy! Now, I do want to also bring up, my actual favorite villain came back in Volume 10, Shadow Shinpei. Okay, he's fucked off for forever, but he showed up at it seemed like that was like their trump card on their side. They were like, okay, now that we've killed Ushio and we're ready to fuck over Shinpei, now let's bring out the Shadow Shinpei, which apparently the mother has had already copied for a while, because we had that reveal of like Shinpei figuring that out, of like, wait, why would the Shadow Shinpei be there? Oh yeah, because at some point the Shadow Meal before, and this was you weren't meant as the reader to understand what she was saying before the Shadow Meal from like loop 2 or 3 or something like that, but she was basically saying he's already been copied. So from at some point, maybe before he got on the boat, or maybe like as soon as he got off the boat or something, he was already copied. He just didn't realize it yet. So Shadow Shinpei is something that could have been around for a while, and maybe something like that might be why, like, how they say like the hand mark on him is how they're tracking him. Maybe that's not the case after all. I was thinking maybe it's actually just that they have Shadow Shinpei saying, okay, what do you think the real Shinpei would do in this situation? And then they're just using that information.
Also, here we go. Sorry. So I'm looking at the wiki for the anime, and this still is obviously so fucking vague. But it literally says his real name is Shirahiko Hishigata, who married Heine and took her surname Karikiri, which if the Hishigatas and the Karikiris were family and related, that means that they were blood related and it was incest.
All right, cool.
Hot.
Well, wait. Am I understanding this right? This sounds like he married Heine, so that's how they became like related.
Oh boy.
Took her surname Karikiri.
Yeah,
that means that Heine was marriage. A Karikiri and he was a Hishigata.
Took her surname in marriage is what it sounded like, right? Am I crazy?
No.
Sounded like they got married.
Right. Yeah, no, they did get married, but what I'm saying is because it was describing the family split, which means that at one point they were both Hishigatas and now it's Hishigata and Karikiri, doesn't that mean that they are the same bloodline?
Heine? No. Am I misunderstanding your logic? So, Heine, it sounds like, was never related to the Hishigatas.
But it's saying that her surname is Karikiri.
Yeah, that means that she's was not a Hishigata.
It said that the Hishigata was split into the Hishigata family was split into the Hishigata and the Katakiri.
Yeah, Shide was Hishigata, and he changed his name to Katakiri after marrying Heine, is what it sounds like. I don't know, maybe I'm misunderstanding, but...
I'm saying that if you have the grandfather... I'm making shit up. But if you have the grandfather... hypothetical. If you have the grandfather who's a Hishigata, and the grandfather has 2 sons, and the 2 sons separate into Hishigata and Karikiri, and then those 2 sons have a son and a daughter, and the daughter is a Karikiri, but the son is a Hishigata, and then the daughter ends up becoming Heine, who is a Karikiri, and the son is a Hishigata. They're still technically blood related.
Okay, I don't know what you're talking about with the Hishigata Karikiri stuff, but I will say if your goal here is to prove that there's incest going on, as soon as Heine and Karikiri had a child and then had another child with that child, yes, that is incest. I don't know if that's what you're trying to get to, but...
I'm not crazy. I swear to God. They literally were like, hey, they're family.
I don't, like, no, that was just them saying that they were family in terms of they were related to Katakiri. Or Masahito, whatever his name is, the original. Their family was related to him, and I'm assuming when he married Heine, he changed his name to Katakiri because that was her name, and then his brother continued the Hishigata family or something like that. That's what I'm assuming.
It took me this whole time to remember what I was going to say, so I need to get it out before I forget.
Okay, what is it?
Please. All right, so more importantly, they imply that this entire thing is like future jumped or in the past somehow. So like Shinpei has implied that Swamp Man's a lot like what's currently going on in this timeline, and like it's almost like his story. And then the author, what's his name again? I'm getting names confused. Ryunosuke said, it was like, this is a really interesting story. I'll write about this. And a few pages before that, she was like, Swamp Man. So it sounds like she like hadn't wrote that book yet, and like Shinpei had gotten his hands on that book, or is like on the wrong timeline with the eye or something. But there's an implication there that like this has already happened, and the book's about it. They brought it up twice. If they didn't do it twice, I wouldn't have thought about it. But it's come up twice now with the Swamp Man book.
Maybe I was misunderstanding. My understanding with that was the Swamp Man book was based on Ryunosuke's first incident with the Shadows 14 years ago.
I see, but he was. But
so
Shinpei kept bringing up how it was. Sounds a lot like what he's currently going through. To me, it sounded like he was implying like there's some time fuckery going on.
What I got there was he was trying to say like there's the shadows might be real because at the time he had not revealed to Shide that I know you're Karakiri, that I know you're Shide or whatever. So it sounded like he was trying to talk with him to get information out of him about the situation, how much he knew about the shadows, and he was like talking about the Swamp Man story. And then saying like the actual lore that he got later about.
I was getting a feeling like they were going for some timeline thing where like with like the bird's eye view, all like the observation thing is like on a different timeline.
I don't doubt there's going to be some weird timeline fuckery, but I feel like that stuff later on is going to be related to Ushio somehow, and how like she gets the eye and gives it to.
I thought
Shinpei.
I don't know the book. I thought so. This is just I could be entirely wrong here, but my feeling was
we all
like,
could be
something with the yeah it's true, but like the book is gonna end up being, I don't know how they're gonna explain this or how it's gonna, but it's gonna be like the book is gonna be about these current events that are currently happening, but through some timeline fuckery was already written.
Wait, say that one more time. I don't know.
Like through some timeline fuckery, like all this happened already.
Oh,
and like Shinpei read a book kind of like it, similar to this story.
Are you saying he's the author of his? Are you saying he's the author of his own favorite book? I vibe with that. Okay.
No, but I wouldn't be surprised. No, I was just thinking like it's gonna turn into something. I just got a feeling from how they implied it a couple times. I could be completely wrong and just misunderstood. That there's gonna be a thing where like the book that he likes so much is actually about these current events, and some way through some timeline fuckery.
Yeah, maybe.
He had read it before.
Right.
It's actually about what's currently happening. I don't know. I could be just thinking too deep into it.
I would definitely put money on there being some weird timeline fuckery in some way. But I don't know. And so you have a number of other panels you've sent me. Are there any you would like to go about next?
Hold on, let me pull up.
Although, oh, sorry, go ahead.
Hold on, I like the sheriff. I literally just sent you a couple panels of the sheriff.
Yeah, I got a couple of those.
Like
this one I got
no
on
way
here.
I'm going home.
Yep,
This one's alone. That gets killed first, and then the one that I wanted you to turn into an emote.
I think that's
of him having his mouth open.
It's like this one.
And then Hizuru being like, and Totsumara, why are you still here again? That one was funny. I just think he's so silly. And then another one that was silly, and the two that again were just reinforcing what I said last stream about the fact that you can see how the mangaka has improved, was the one where Nezu's head got really big when he was shouting at Ushio. That was funny.
Why are you just waltzing in here? This is a very fucking accent thick panel too. God damn it.
Yeah, exactly. And then
which is another thing I do want to bring up. Old man Nezu going with Shadow Ushio to see who we now know was his wife, who died 2 months prior and was replaced by the Shadow. And he realized quickly that that was a Shadow who just replaced his wife, and that's he just kept her there because he was, I don't know, something about like, my wife's dead, and now he's like being tricked by the Shadow at times to like think it's actually his wife, so he feels too guilty to kill her. But when they go to the house, she's like going berserk because Heine has sent the signal out to the Shadows to just kill. And he's like, Ushio's just there like, I can rewire her brain, she could be your wife again. He's like, no, that's not my wife. This thing killed my wife, okay? And now that I can more clearly see that this is an evil fucking Shadow, I'm just gonna kill it now. And I thought that was I thought that was cool.
I have a note on that scene as well, because Ushio is fucking everything that a female lead should be. Okay, she's strong, she's confident, she knows her morals, but she's also like so kind and soft-hearted. Actually, what I wrote is Ushio is a fucking angel. That scene where Nezu had to shoot his wife had me tearing up, and Ushio being moved is so good. It really shows that both that she is Ushio and she does care for people, and she's not like Heine, even as she struggles with the thought that she might go crazy and hurt the people that she loves. Because I think that while Heine in her explosion was racked with guilt, like, she still ended up like recovering and like becoming evil or whatever. And I think that the scene was just really important to showing that Ushio, even though she is like coming to terms with the fact she's a Shadow and she doesn't want to like go berserk and kill people so that Hizuru has to kill her, this was a really important scene to showing like she's not like that. And I think that part of the reason it was there is to show that she will never be like that.
Yeah.
Also, really quick, the other reason why I had that idea about the book is because of like how they threw away implied it. It was like the whole Swamp Man conversation with Shide, and like just one random panel on one page was like her just like walking through rocks, being like, "No, I think I'll write a book about this if we make it through it." Whatever. I was like, that seems like a flag.
So the one thing about that, well, yes, I did notice that was like a flag. The other thing too was them saying, I've never written nonfiction before, but I had thought that book before was supposed to be their account of 14 years ago, but I guess it was just a heavily like fictionalized version of it based on those ideas, I guess. Because we're never really exposed to what actually happens in the book itself compared to the actual incident. We just know what happens in the actual incident. And
I was thinking that that the book is a highly what they're implying is it's a highly dramatized version of. Oh, never mind, because it wouldn't make sense. But I haven't written nonfiction before. Never mind, I'm probably just completely wrong.
Yeah, I don't know. Because, like, I mean, the fact that they wrote a whole book about it initially made me think, oh, this was going to be a much longer, like, thing in the past. It was going to be pretty much a whole arc where you're watching, like, this whole incident where the Shadows tried to invade before many years ago. But no, it turned out to be just, like, this one incident where Hizuru became friends with this Shadow girl when she was young, turned out to eat her brother, and she was traumatized by that incident, and then got saved by old man Nezu essentially, and then dealing with all that, and then leaves the island. So it was like their incident was like an hour at most or whatever, so it wasn't like a big thing. But I'm assuming the book probably just takes that moment and then just invents a whole bunch of stuff for like the rest of it, and maybe in other experience that maybe Rinosuke, the shadow version that's inside of her, has been saying to her, or other adventures they might have had related to shadows, something to that effect. But they make a line in volume 10 where Hizuru or / Rinosuke is going to fight Shide, and they make note of, they blatantly say, I haven't written non-fiction before. So I thought that, and I was like, oh, so they must have dramatized a fuck ton, or like, not dramatized, like made up a fuck ton of the incident for her first book and just use some of it as like inspiration for it, I guess. But the next book can just be a whole thing. Do you think this is going to end with them writing a book and it's just Summertime Rendering is what they title it? Do you think that's how this kind of thing ends? I don't know.
That probably is it.
I don't know if
She's gonna write a book called Summertime
I-
Rendering.
Those kind of things are cheesy for me. I don't know if I like that.
I'm still convinced that the scene that was at the beginning of the book happens again at the end, and they
Yeah.
send Shinpei back, which
Yeah.
like then confirms what Justin was saying about the book or something, because like I don't fucking know, he was reading it on the boat or whatever, like that's what he said, so then he would have had a copy of the book that like shouldn't exist yet or something.
He like fell asleep after reading it a bit, is what he said before, I think, and he thought the first loop was him having some weird nightmare related to it, or something like that.
I don't know, it don't seem too flaggy so far with the book thing. I feel like it's gonna get tied in somehow.
I definitely, after she said that line, I was like, "There's no way that Hizuru / Ryunosuke survived the fight. They're dying." I love them, but they've said that line. It's over for them. I'm sorry, it's over.
Fucking over for them.
Sorry, they said what?
They said like, if we survive this, I might write another book about this. I haven't written nonfiction before, and then they go to fight Shide.
There's another flag for me personally. When she says to Ushio, if something happens to you, I will kill you.
If something, wait, who says this to who?
Oh, when she says that she's gonna kill Ushio, if you turn bad, I'll kill you.
Oh, I see.
Yeah,
I see.
That's a flag. That's a flag for me.
Really?
Well, it's the same thing as in Mega Man X.
Well,
and then soon after, Zero dies. Whoops.
Dude, bro, Mega Man spoilers, come on. I was about to go check out all of Mega Man. Now I can't because you ruined it. Sorry, I don't know.
No, okay, so I ruined exactly one game out of 50.
It's
also,
unplayable.
Another manga panel that I sent was just the fact that I thought that it was really weird that it took us as long as it did to get to the cover of that other volume. Like, why did it happen so later?
So I will tell you, my guess for this is that he needed a hero shot for Hizuru before they go into their fight that's going to end up killing them, and he was like, this is the best I've ever drawn of them, so I'm going to use that again here. That's my guess of what happened there. Because this is volume 10, and that was from volume 3, so...
Yeah, this screenshot says, I've got this. You know that they don't got this.
Yeah, okay. I mean, volume 10 ends with basically Hizuru saying to Ryunosuke, who apparently at that moment realized that they could talk to each other for some reason. Hizuru says, you can just do whatever you can to beat the shadow. You can use my body to the fullest. My body wants to. So basically, she's saying you can just do whatever to kill the shadow, even if my body ends up dying. So whether or not they actually beat Shide, I don't know, but I can guarantee you they're dead. I'm sorry.
I did write that fight scene looks so fucking good.
It did.
I mean, it was a little hard to follow because Shide, obviously he has so much going on, but I think seeing a little bit more of Ryunosuke's abilities in that was just fantastic. I'm so excited to read the next one.
Bro, I saw that. I was like, these look awesome, and I'm also like, I can't wait to watch this fight animated when I go check out the anime, as long as they didn't fuck up the animation later on.
As long as they didn't fuck it up, yeah.
Which, I don't know. Maybe they, I don't know. I don't know how the animation of the fights went. I only saw the first 4 episodes. There was like 2 fights in it or whatever. One of which was done in an instant, so I don't know. Maybe it was good. Maybe it was. I don't know. We'll find out. And when we're done discussing this, I'm gonna watch all of this at some point. I'm sure. What? Okay.
Yeah. I mean, I'd like to watch it. Honestly, the problem that I've been telling people a lot, I was just joking about it with one of my other classmates. My planned list on any list is longer than my watch list because I have so much I want to watch, but I don't have the damn time. I think I sent you guys a picture of my calendar where like the only thing that I have blocked out for fun is this live stream, and the rest of it is work and school.
Wow.
I'm gonna be an academic fucking weapon this semester. What's up?
How tall is Nezu supposed to be?
I have no idea heights for I'm always bad with heights for characters. I think he's supposed to be like
because there's this one panel where he's noticeably shorter than everyone else.
I don't know. That just might be like inconsistency with like that one panel. I don't know. I don't really pay attention too much to some of the heights of some of the characters usually in most stuff.
It just feels wrong, you know?
Well, I mean, you're going to get that kind of stuff eventually in a lot of work, especially like with shonen stuff that goes on forever. You get like some panels like that where the heights are just wildly different than what they should be. I don't know. I don't know about that. I don't know specific panel you're referring to, but I'm sure if I saw it, I would agree. So if I try to think of it from the top of my head.
I put in general.
Okay, let's see here.
Yeah.
That's definitely like a that's it.
Because I would pass it off as a perspective thing, but so is so fucking tall.
He's so big.
So here's what I'll tell you. It doesn't look like he's supposed to be there. It looks like he drew everything else and was like, wait a minute, he needs to be there. So doesn't look like he should be there either. So what is going on with his face? Those people, I don't think were in this photo originally, and the author was like, wait a minute, they're supposed to be there in this scene. Oh, fuck.
Fuck.
Nezu looks like a Photoshop in the photo.
Yeah.
He does.
So, I'm glad I caught that.
So
now.
listen, okay. The author, he makes very, very nice panels most of the time. Okay, we can give him a pass on this.
99%
Okay?
of the time, I'll give him the benefit of this time. It's just funny to me.
We can give him a pass.
It's so funny because both of them look so out of place.
Like, okay, it looked like he just drew something quickly for So and was like, I don't feel like drawing the rest of his body underneath, so he just photoshopped fucking some old panel of Nezu on there.
Yeah.
And then a backpack at the bottom. Because I don't think, hold on, I'm going to show it on the screen again. You have So's top. I don't think you see anything like of his legs or anything underneath. We just go ... fade away. So he's definitely using Nezu to just block the fact that he didn't draw any of that. So listen, okay, it happens. It's been known to happen. Okay, this man's been cooking for
hey,
like
at least
2
it's not
years,
as bad
3
as
years.
those animators like forgetting to put the instruments in that one anime scene.
Oh boy.
My personal favorite from Spicy Kai, where they just skip several frames of animation.
Oh, that's cool.
You know what I'm talking about, Wolfborg.
The spider isekai was a thing. I made a whole video about it. You can watch that on youtube.com/Wolfborg. Okay, you can check that out. Our rant about that. One thing I will say about the spider isekai, you know, Blu-rays are supposed to make animation, like allow them to fix animation fuck-ups. Somehow the Blu-rays made that worse. I don't think I've ever seen that before in my life, but the Blu-ray version made it worse. And I don't know how that's, but it was a whole thing. Anyways, yeah, these kind of things happen. I do have a couple of things in my notes that I did want to bring up before we go through this. Some of my stuff has to deal with some of the shit he's rambling about in the afterwards. So the very
That's great. Hold on.
So like actually one of these is not from the after. One of these is from like the beginning of volume 9. You know how like after the cover there's like a flap where he writes something or whatever. So he wrote, I can barely remember the names of characters in any anime, movie, novel, or manga I come across. Has my ability to immerse myself in fiction diminished? Was what he wrote. And I'm like, I can vibe with that in like a way in that like when I like view stuff, I'm like, I don't give a fuck what most of your names is. I can't remember the cop guy's name I know it's like Totsu something, but I can't remember the cop guy's name. I think he's great.
I think it's I think it's Totsumura, and I only
think
know
so.
that because I was just looking at the panel
Yeah.
where where Izuru looked back at him and was like, "Why are you still here?"
Like if I wasn't trying to host this book club with you guys, I'd be referring to all these people as the sledgehammer woman with glasses and big tits, the fucking main character coon, swimsuit girl. Like I would not be remembering.
I'm
these
so
names.
bad with names.
Yeah, it's taken me 10 volumes to remember that Nezu's name is Nezu.
Oh my god. And like he's a great character too. It's not like these are bad characters. It's just man. But like I think like that you know, that's a part thing too where it's like some of these characters really needed to have time spent to develop them like more directly for me to really remember their names, I guess. Like people like Mio and Ushio, I can remember their names more just because they are very integral to interacting with Shinpei. Heine I can remember just because that's the big bad's name. Which they refer to as that name more than Hideko, even though Hideko is supposed to be like their god name or something like that. I don't know.
Shinpei I got pretty quickly because it felt like a really unique name. Also, fucking something that I noticed a while ago that I didn't bring up, and it's entirely possible that the reason that I am pointing it out is because I don't know Japanese naming conventions. But I thought that was really interesting that every single person's name ends with a vowel sound so that they're able to put the H on them to indicate shadows. Ushio, Nezu, Mio, Hizuru, Shinpei, Tokiko, So, like all of them have made it, every single name was designed so that they would be able to add that H where necessary.
So here's what I will say about that. That might be a localization decision specifically. And I can't really confirm that unless I see the actual, like, how the Japanese version of the pages looked, because I do understand that they do specifically, like, say, like, I think Shinpei says, I'll refer to Shadow Mio as Mio with, like, an H at the end. Their names in Japanese are probably just going to be the kanji, though. So I don't know how they did it in Japanese, whether they, like, wrote, like, the kanji for, like, shadow next to it, maybe, or something like that, or some kind of, like, suffix that's a kanji to specify it. But I feel like the decision to I don't know, it might be the case that like it was a smart like choice where like they were intending to end it all in a vowel thing, but I pretty sure like the only names that wouldn't end with a vowel in Japanese are just ones that end with an like the N. So like Elaine is still the father of the Kofunes. They're probably the only one that has an N at the end, which I mean, he had a shadow, but I don't know if they ever referred to him.
Shadow.
He was killed quickly.
No,
I don't think they ever referred
he was
to
killed
the
pretty
shadow as like a shadow
quickly.
thing. So that part is probably just a localization decision, because I'm pretty sure every Japanese name is going to have a vowel at the end unless their name ends with N, which the only one that happens here is Elaine, I think. So that's a Japanese thing, but the localization of adding an H to the end, I don't know if that's something to where that's something that they picked because of something of how it was written in Japanese, but it has to be something that they distinctly call them different things in Japanese, because they do it in English too and make it a point of talking about how it's going to refer to them as that different thing. But I wouldn't be able to know for sure unless I read the originals, which I don't know, maybe as like for funsies, I'll check what the original said at some point for parts of these, but yeah, I don't know. So I brought up that whole point about the author saying I can barely remember the names, and he wonders if his ability to immerse himself in his fiction has diminished in terms of like maybe age or something like that, I think. And for me, it's more, for me at least, it's more just because I consume so much fucking movies and animes and stuff like that. I'm like, I don't really have time to remember people's names. I can be invested in them as characters, but I usually don't. And usually it's also because we don't have subtitles going on, so it's hard for me to like understand what their name is supposed to be in some works. So,
but you get the constant reminder.
Yeah, it's a constant reminder of like, oh, so that's what that character is supposed to be.
I can also admit that I definitely remember Western names better than I remember Japanese.
It definitely helps.
And I think that's just inherently because I grew up here.
Yeah.
It makes me feel bad sometimes, but it's just the way that things are for me.
Well, it can be tricky with the names. Especially because of like in some areas they're like, you know, because typically they're written as last name first, first name afterwards, and they refer to each other by their last names usually in most of the Japanese stuff, unless they're like very, very close and they refer to themselves as their first names. But in English, we would refer to like somebody, first name first and last name last, because that's what we name them first. And like they call them like family name, given name. We call them first name, last name traditionally. So it like just the order of things can fuck it up too. And this is something that happens when people are referring to Japanese authors too. Are you supposed to refer to them by their last name? Are you supposed to refer to them by their first name? Or what's the way that you're supposed to refer to them in like an article? It seems to be that you're supposed to refer to them by their last name just because it's easier, but I don't know. Something like Hayao Miyazaki, you refer to him by his full name just because it's fucking Hayao Miyazaki, and he has a son, Goro Miyazaki, and you can't exactly say, oh yeah, like, well, usually if you're saying Miyazaki, you're talking about the Miyazaki, but there's also like, I think there's a Miyazaki related to Dark Souls too, right? I don't remember what his name is though, but I don't know. So I wrote that stuff down. Other stuff about his afterward was him rambling about how he wanted to talk about what kind of gamer he is. Okay, he makes a lot of discussions about being a gamer and all the stuff he likes about gaming. Specifically,
we were joking about the shadows rising up, right? And he's a gamer.
Listen, he talked about how more things that he like basically influenced him. He talked a lot, especially about Death Stranding, which had just come out in the middle of him doing this series, I guess. And like when I started reading this, I was like, yes, this is something that author definitely would have loved. And sure enough, it comes up, and he not only does he think like it's great, it is, quote, the greatest experience he's ever had. And he was such a fan of Norman Reedus before from Boondock Saints that he tried to like dress up like him in a pea coat. He liked Mads Mikkelsen. Is that how you say his name? He liked him when he was in Hannibal and started trying to eat like he did in Hannibal. He and of course Guillermo del Toro, he's just like, I love Pan's Labyrinth and stuff like that. Like those are new things that have influenced parts of this in some areas, I'm sure. And he's talking about, every time he's talking about being a gamer, he's talking about the bird's eye view or whatever. He directly says them on the afterwards. In a game, the player gets to have a bird's eye view. And I'm like, I still don't think we're getting, at this point in time, I don't think we're getting to, it was a fucking video game simulation the whole time. I don't think that's happening anymore at the very least. I mean, I never totally thought it was going to happen anyways. I just kind of really didn't want it to happen. At this point now, I don't think it's going to be the case at all. But every time he brings up bird's eye view, and I keep thinking it's going to be like some thing that they're going to reveal more information on later. I'm pretty sure it's just the author being like, you just gotta be smart, like one of the video game players. You gotta be smart about it, okay? You have this looping ability. You're basically like you're playing a video game. You just gotta be smart, Shinpei. I'm just like, I don't know.
I like to imagine that he was always like pretty smart, but gaining the eye has given him the ability to just like astral project.
Yeah, he's so like looking down at himself, talking to himself.
Seeing him, when he's detached from himself, he's having a full-on out-of-body experience. Or maybe he's just like crazy and he's been able to do that from the start.
That'd be funny.
So while
he's able to like detach from his physical body.
Yeah.
Go on.
Unshackle himself from his moral coils.
So while the author says he can't remember names of things, that's not the case when it comes to video games. He's like, I know every single character from all the video games. He lists like a million fucking characters' names from like Dragon Quest, fucking Final Fantasy, Realm Reborn, and shit like that. I'm like, Jesus Christ, dude, stop. You're name dropping characters for video games. Stop, chill. He's like saying Sans, Undertale, Toriel, and I'm like, oh no, what is going on? He's listing like all of them. And I'm just like, all the memos and extra lore he adds to the end and the afterwards, it's just him being a fucking JRPG world-building lore nerd, okay? He just wants to really show off all the JRPG, like, fucking flavor text and stuff like that he enjoys from those, which is fair. He just really, really enjoys world-building in a lot of games, and that's why a lot of the extra lore is, like, wordy. In both these volumes, we had extra lore about plants that are on the island, and I'm like, I don't give a shit about these plants, but I'm happy for you. We're sorry that happened. I'm not reading all that.
Yeah, I will be totally honest. I don't read the memos and I don't read the afterwards. I'm here to look at pretty
Yeah,
pictures.
neither do I.
Okay.
I read the afterwards. I just don't read all the memos. The afterwards I enjoy reading just because I like getting into the head of like what the author's thinking. But usually with this author, he's just using the opportunity to talk about video games he likes. So I don't know. I like that kind of stuff, like showing like what inspired the works that he's working on and why certain things probably happened in certain ways. I like that kind of stuff. And
I do have one thing to add to that. Actually.
What's your thing? What's your thing?
I feel like it's easier to like memorize like video game characters' names because you have something to like some sort of something to associate with it.
Yeah, I mean that does make it easier
I know
because
exactly what to word it.
Because you're it's like an interactive thing where you are supposed to be them. So like it's an interactive thing that I'm supposed to talk to this person, but also it helps with some of these video games where they just show the character's name on screen too, I guess. But yeah. But his whole thing seemed to be like, I'm just into the lore of these video games specifically because I have to interact with this world. So yeah. Were you about to say something, Ann?
Hello?
Yeah.
What were we talking about?
The names, how we can remember video game character names.
Oh, I was gonna say that, what was I gonna say?
We're doing good.
I feel for the author in terms of remembering the names of his own characters, because I also, like, when I was first creating OCs, I also would just, like, forget their names. I've gotten into the habit of remembering it because I upload them all to Toy House and they all have, like, a visual sheet. But I totally get just being like, who is this character again, to like your own characters. And the advantage, like Shadow was saying, is the fact that somebody else has put the work into all of that. So you don't have to think very hard. Like, all you really have, like, if I were to tell you who Sans is, what you're gonna think is the little pixel art Undertale character, maybe some weird shit that you saw on the internet, and Sans. What the author has to think about when he's making, like, Shinpei is, why can he do the bird's eye view? What does Shinpei know? What does he not know? What does he look like? Like, the author has to be thinking of all these things. So I feel like it makes sense that the name would kind of get knocked down the priority list in terms of what needs to be locked to memory.
Yeah, I had a similar feeling last winter when I participated in Winter Jam, which you helped with, Anne, where I wrote that visual novel, The Winter Games, and I don't think I could tell you off the top of my head the names of any of those characters, because the names of the characters weren't important at all for me. What was important was the role they were meant to play. Like, this is the crazy magical girl person. This is supposed to be an evil Santa Claus villainess, whatever. This is supposed to be wussy protagonist boy who is somehow also a narcissist or some shit like that. This is supposed to be nerdy science, like, this is supposed to be Joy. I don't have to, like, know their... To me, in some cases, the names aren't exactly important. What's more important is the role that they're meant to fulfill. But I understand other writers and stuff like that get more invested in that because they're more invested in the characters themselves as a thing separate from the stories. And in many cases, it seems like stories are written exclusively for a character that's already been designed. Like, they have their OCs and they just want to put them in some kind of story, and the story doesn't matter in terms of what's happening. They just want the character to be doing things because they love the character or whatever. So, you know, those kind of writers would like memorize those kind of names. But, like, I don't know, depending on the kind of story you're telling, I guess the names aren't exactly important. So it's easier for people and maybe viewers or whatever to kind of not register them because in some ways they're not important. Like, we didn't have to know the name of the random detective that comes to the island and just instantly dies, even though he introduces his name. You don't have to know his name because he's never coming back.
No, you do. No, he's coming back.
Yeah, sure.
He's gonna solve everything.
True, he's gonna show up at the end. He's gonna save the day. Okay, Shinpei's last.
Yeah, Columbo's gonna show up.
Speaking of, okay, I almost forgot to bring this up. The loops. Okay, you know how the author said that originally it was gonna end 10 volumes. I feel like I definitely felt that when we went like last week, where he's saying, I feel like this next one is the last loop, and now he's saying, oh, so much time has passed. I feel like I have plenty of room to work around with my loops now. I'm like, wait a minute. All right, so that
yeah, but
confirms...
then he dies, and then
No,
he has no room to.
No,
work
I
with.
understand. That just confirms what I was saying last time, where it doesn't like the amount of time he has for like the amount of loops he has only really depends on how long he can stay alive once he loops. Because if he dies before a certain point when the next loop would start, then it's just over because he wouldn't be able to load to that next point. So it would just like end. So as long as they can kill him as soon as possible once he loops, then they could just end it. But and that's something that like they don't really they think to do for a second, and then the seashell kind of scares them off, which might just be weird Ushio power bullshit. I don't know, but they scare him off, and he's just fine at that point. I don't know. I don't understand what happened there. I'm a little disappointed that we're not going to find out what happened there until the very end, probably, because I'm just like they were just about to finish this all, and now they just kind of left. What? I don't know. But
well, and what's kind of interesting about that scene is they didn't see what he pulled out. He just reached into his pocket. He could have had a fucking quarter. He could have had a gun. He could have had the shell. He could have had like
that's where I think it was like a sense thing for them. Like I don't think they were like, oh no, he's got the thing. He's gonna pull out the thing. I think it was more like, we sensed the MacGuffin there, so we're just gonna leave for now because otherwise we're gonna get killed or some weird shit. I don't know. Everything after that though I thought was cool, where it was like Shadow Shinpei is actually alive, and you see like the panel of Shadow Shinpei calling the others, and then you see the actual Shinpei being like, oh, I don't have a signal, and you're like, oh, wait a minute, that's Shadow Shinpei talking to everybody saying, hey, go here and here.
That was good.
And like, yeah, because Shadow Shinpei's now entered the chat, my favorite antagonist, who should have been the main antagonist the whole time, okay, because he can get shit done.
Shadow Shinpei.
Yeah, he shows up and he's like, okay, by the way, Mio, Ushio's dead, kill Shadow, or hold Shadow Mio there, okay, she's gonna betray you because now Ushio's there. Boom, tricked, get her out so that they could probably use her for fucking as a hostage later or some weird shit. Awesome. And trick everybody else to go somewhere, even though they pretty much have suspicions. Like Hizuru and Nezu are just like, well, Ushio's dead, but why the fuck is he calling us out here? It's a little weird. I don't know. I feel like
sauce among us.
Feel like shit's fucked, and like they pretty much. That's why Hizuru's like, just let me go, and you can watch from here with your sniper, and then he just can't see anything over there. Yeah. So. Shadow Shinpei.
Exactly for that, did we?
See, this shit would have ended not in 10 volumes. It would have ended in like 4 volumes if Shadow Shinpei was the main antagonist. Okay, he would have won everything very quickly. Okay, he seems like he can get shit done. I'm just saying.
This might also just be a me thing, but I understand why they had changed it. But I liked when Ushio's hair was short. I know that it's like
I didn't notice it at first.
Her primary weapon.
I was dumb. I didn't notice it.
It looks like really cute with short hair.
Oh my god! I
didn't notice it at first.
I'm looking at my screenshot again, and it's wait, she does have short hair.
So I didn't notice it. It makes total sense that her hair would be short because she's been using it for things. I completely.
Well, no,
it didn't register to me. Got cut off.
Yeah, it got chopped off in one of the previous volumes. Or it got burned off in the fight with Shida when she was being pressed into the ground. It was burning her hair off. That's why she had it short, is because she was literally like debilitated in the last fight.
I don't remember it specifically burning the hair off. My main point here is just to clarify that, like, for a while I didn't realize her hair was turned short. And I realized it was turned short when they were like, oh, you can use these hairs I still had of the actual Ushio as like a healing potion of some sort. And I'm just like, oh no, the gamer's back here. So calling these healing potions. Oh no. But no, yeah, and then the hair fully grows back, and there was a nice panel with the hair back and everything like that. And I was like, oh, this is nice. And I was like, I didn't realize that the hair was short though. It took me until just then to realize that, but yeah.
Wait till now to realize that.
Well, I don't think too much time had passed since that fight at that point. Was there? I don't remember. Time is becoming an illusion with this manga, okay? Which is weird because, like you said, these 2 volumes for this week dragged on in certain areas. I understand they're trying to save the people on the island. Did we really need them to be like, all right, let's split up into 2 groups to investigate a couple families that we didn't know anything about until now? Oh, these random 3 kids. Let's go save them and learn lore about them and their teacher and this brother-sister thing. It's like, okay, I don't know. This feels like something where like these characters would have played a bigger role in like a previous plot that he had in mind, and now they're just like, oh, we need things for them to do that. I don't know. I don't know if that was just me. But anyways, those are my thoughts. Does anybody have any other thoughts they want to bring up? Am I dying? Hello?
Hi.
Hello.
All Swift here for Flex Safe.
My connection dying? Were you guys able to hear me? Or can you
Hello?
hear?
Yeah, I think we're good now.
Okay. I don't know if you guys were able to hear me at all, but I was basically just talking about. Like, wait,
I can hear you. I can hear you.
I can hear you. I'm.
All right. There's a slight delay right
my
now. Okay.
attention.
There's a slight delay right now. I think.
I think you're lagging out.
You're lagging
hold
out.
on.
buddy.
Hold on.
Oh,
All right. Can you hear me?
Wolfweeb?
Can you hear me?
Hi.
Okay. There's a very
Yes.
slight delay at some point because of my connection being weird. I don't know why it's being weird all of a sudden, but it's being weird all of a sudden.
It's because you're streaming to Kick. That's why.
It's not why. Okay. This has never been
Yes,
a problem
it is.
ever in my life.
Your PC can't have the sheer
what did you?
power.
Oh, shut the fuck up. All right. What was the last thing you guys heard from me?
I don't remember.
You were never interrupted. I honestly.
Yeah, that's how I don't know what you guys last heard before I lagged out.
Sorry,
Okay.
I'm in discussion with some of my peers about something, so I genuinely don't remember because I don't
hate
think
you
I
all.
was paying
I hate you all. Why do I even bother
I
talking?
actually, I
Sorry.
actually forgot.
Why do I
Okay,
bother
something about
talking?
kids, I think.
It was about the fucking
Something
3
about
kids that
kids,
they
I
just
think.
saved. We had spent so much time to save these
Yes,
fucking
there we
3
go.
kids for some reason.
Yeah,
Yes,
that's what it
yes,
was.
there
I
we
was
go.
just like, these
See?
3 kids feel like they were supposed to be for something else, and we just brought them in here all of a sudden for like a quick trip for an entire volume, or half a volume. I'm like, do we really need to spend time doing this? I don't know.
I
Anyways,
hate kids, so
based,
I just ignore them.
true,
Based.
and based.
Also, kids are so fucking annoying. I wouldn't even fuck one for immortality. I'm throwing that out there.
Wow, that is
Especially
such a
if it was my
brave take.
daughter.
Such a brave take, Justin. I've never heard a braver take
I
in my
know.
life.
I'll die on this hill. I
Wow.
wouldn't fuck my underage daughter.
Whoa. That's a very
If this is
bold,
where I must stand, I'll stand.
bold takes. I
You
know.
joke, but
Well, it's a manga club. This topic is going to come up once in a while.
oh, good lord.
Listen, I don't fucking write into this
listen, I
manga.
hope this does not ever come up again. I don't know what mangas you're reading, but I don't.
Wait, what?
To boil down what has been an hour and a half long stream, I like what's going on right now, but I feel like giving it another 32 chapters is a bit much.
Yeah, you're right. Probably. I could see like I
Find
don't know.
out eventually.
Yeah, I guess we'll find out. Fuck it. Know what? Hold that thought, and then next week we'll be
Let
like,
him cook. Let him cook.
Well, this
like
is
write that down.
This is where we're getting the point, I think, to where, you know, you're really feeling how the author described how he's doing the writing at this point. He's not fully, like, planning things out, it feels like. He's just kind of, he's got these characters he enjoys in this world he likes, and he's just kind of, he described it as him just filming whatever his characters are doing, as opposed to planning out what the characters should do
Oh, no,
next.
it's not his back.
Yeah, I agree. 100 Girlfriends was really good.
All right, Ace, I don't want to hear it. He probably just typed that and then left immediately, okay? I don't want to hear it, okay? He left a similar comment before. He left a fucking similar comment before on one of the past streams where he's like, "Oh, you guys are did you guys vote for 100 Girlfriends?" And I said, I put it up for a vote. It didn't win or whatever, but he's like, I think he said like, you guys should read 100 Girlfriends, and I said I already have. And he's like, "Oh, whoa, I will be tuning in next week." And I'm like, "No, it didn't win the vote. You're in the server. You know it didn't win the vote. We're reading summertime rendering. That's what you're commenting on." Fucking Ace, okay? We love him, okay? But fuck. Listen, 100 Girlfriends is great. We're not reading that right now, okay? It's getting an anime starting, I think, next week or whatever, okay? You can watch that. You can enjoy that. It'll be great, I'm sure. Listen.
Absolutely
I don't have
not.
college.
I refuse. You know what? Specifically because Ace told me to, I'm never going to consume any 100 Girlfriends media.
Why is there so many of them?
Listen, listen, I won't
These
tell him.
maniacs.
It's great, okay? It's great. The 100 Girlfriends thing, okay? I will just say real quickly, you read that title and you think, oh, there's going to be a catch. There's no way they're going to commit to the bit. They commit to the bit. There will be 100 girlfriends in this. There's something like 20 girlfriends already introduced, and they give equal time to all of them. It is like god tier levels of committing to the bit. in like so many ways. Okay, but that's a different manga. All right, we're talking about summertime rendering. Is there anything you guys have left to discuss before we wrap up the stream for this week?
No, we've covered all my
like
points.
A good show.
Yeah, I feel like we covered a lot with this, despite there being like
also
long stretched out of things that happen. But there's a lot to think about with the backstory stuff. So yeah, what's really quick?
Really quick. So we discovered, just rehashing really quick, Haney came from her home was like somewhere deep in the ocean.
Well,
Like
technically it was in space
only
first,
shadows
I
can reach
think.
in the ocean. No. The space part was like when he was talking to Shide.
No, I
and it's
understand
like,
you're
oh,
trying to say mer people, but
theoretically-
they came from space first. I'm just saying. I don't know.
Shut the fuck
Space,
up.
more people.
Listen, they're mer people.
Intergalactic
They're people
more
under the
people.
ocean. Fuck you, I was right. Fuck everyone. That's my final thing.
Listen,
I was
Space.
memeing, but I was right with mer people. I don't care what anyone has to say.
listen.
I hate that I can't argue. I
No,
can't
the
try and say that you're
problem.
wrong because you're right.
It's literally
No.
people at the bottom of the ocean. What do you want from me?
No,
I mean, I was trolling when I
listen,
said it, but it's
no,
true.
I could argue. I just don't want to really tear apart your mer people dream to shreds. Okay, I understand you're really invested in being mer people. I don't agree with classifying them as mer people, but you're allowed to think that, buddy. Okay.
We don't know where they came from. We just know her.
They came from
home is
space.
somewhere at
We
the
went over
bottom of
this.
the ocean. No,
Yeah,
he said
intergalactic mer people. They're from space.
no. He said they could be from anywhere. It could be the bottom of the ocean. Let's say it's a meteorite. He literally said like, let's say it's a meteorite. Like it's not confirmed. Like he didn't know where they came from.
Hypothetically.
Yeah, he like literally was doing a hypothetical when he said the space part.
Okay, so then you don't know if they actually came from the ocean before either.
Well, no, because we were told like as part of the story that they
That at some point they went to the
Came
ocean.
from the
Probably away.
ocean.
You don't know. Listen, this is why I was saying I could argue
all
against
we were
this. I don't
told-
feel like crushing away your mer people dreams.
All
okay?
I'm saying
I'm
is
letting
we
you
were
have your
told
dream.
her
I'm
ocean
letting
is
you
the
have your
home.
dream. Okay,
Thank
I'm
you,
letting you
thank
have
you,
your dream.
thank you,
Okay,
thank you,
I don't agree with
thank
it, but
you,
I'm letting you
thank
have your
you,
dream. Okay,
thank
it was
you.
mer people. You
I'll
were
take
right.
it.
Don't worry.
I'll take it.
You were
I'll
totally
take
right.
it. I'll take
It was
I'll
it was
take
totally mer people, and it's definitely going to be a simulation in the end. Don't worry. I agree with you, buddy.
Listen, I don't give a fuck about the simulation because the mer people team mer people, we're going strong.
Team mer people.
The mer people stonks going up. Is that what this is? Okay.
Yeah,
Yo.
it's through the fucking roof right now. It's GameStop. You know,
All right.
get
well,
in while you can.
All right, mer people bros aside, okay, that was Summertime Rendering Volumes 9 and 10. Next week is going to be 11 and 12, and then for the final volume will be afterwards. We're going to read Volume 13 by itself, and then discuss that and our favorite moments and all that, our thoughts about the entirety of the series for that last stream. Well, I'm sure we'll have a lot to talk about, like streams like this is like an hour and 45 minutes of which we've been talking, so I'm sure we can fit at least an hour of content into the final volume if we are capable of it as podcasters. Would you call this a podcast? YouTube would call it a podcast because that's why I put it on
This is the Anime Book Club podcast.
well, I didn't write
I didn't
podcast in the title, but it is categorized in YouTube as a quote-unquote podcast, but yes.
Gross.
Yeah, that's right. You're
Gross.
podcasters, okay? Mer people, podcasters. Same thing. We know it. Okay, what do we want
It's like-
what do we want to happen in these last few volumes before we
You
rattle
should
the
have stayed
stream?
dead.
Okay,
You
here's
want-
the
we
thing. though,
should've
I
stayed in.
secretly want Justin to be correct. Though is the problem.
What do you
just
mean
for the memes.
secretly? I
is
could have
stupid.
sworn there was a panel that said she's trying to go back to her home in the ocean. It's
She's not
doesn't
trying
get
to
more
go back to
cut
her home in
wet
the
than that.
ocean. Bro, if you want to go back to your home in the ocean, you don't have to fucking consume all of an island to do it. You just go into the ocean.
Yes, you do.
She
Yes,
became
you
a
do. I
beached
don't expect
whale
no-
to fucking. I'm pretty confident going home is I'm going to consume all these bodies and then use my abilities to fly up into space and go back home because they're from space. I'm pretty
It's
sure.
smart people. I don't care what
Just
anyone
build
has
a
to say.
rocket ship then.
Okay, listen. Okay, so that's what you want. You don't want Ushu to be
Oh,
alive.
what if her home's like the meteor at the bottom of the ocean or whatever?
What did I just say? What did I just say?
Just go
I-
there.
So which is it, Justin? Did they come from a meteor from outer space or?
I mean, water is
Stop.
abundant
No,
in the universe.
No. I'm giving you the.
There could be more people on
Don't
another
worry.
planet.
Stop. Shut the fuck up.
Yeah,
I don't
what
want to
if,
talk.
Thank you, Anne.
I hate
Thank you.
I
It
don't,
was
I don't care.
suspended in the ice
don't
in the
care.
meteor.
I
It was
don't
a
give a
comet,
fuck.
not a meteor.
I don't
It was
give
a
a fuck.
comet because it was
I don't
ice.
care. I don't care. I don't care. You're insane. You're crazy. Go take
It's
your
like
mer
the
people
thing,
conspiracy
but more
somewhere else.
people.
Go take your mer people conspiracy somewhere else. Okay, I
Oh,
understand.
but you say because we're correct though is the problem.
Okay, let's continue on with the question of what do you guys want to have in the final volumes? I understand what Justin wants. He wants mer people and Ushio to stay dead. And what do you want in the final volumes to happen?
I want.
It doesn't have to be in terms of like
what I
how
want.
you want it to end. Just what would you like to see at least before the series ends?
I want Shinpei to turn down both Ushio and Mio, and I want Mio and So to get together.
Oh no. That's yes. I want Shinpei to get together with the detective.
I want Shinpei to get together with Hizuru. The detective and Hizuru.
Oh my
Oh.
god.
The
But what
cop-
about Erica?
Wait, you're talking about the cop,
what
right?
What the fuck's
Or-
her name? Yeah.
Yes.
I would listen. The cop and Hizuru would be great. Problem is the cop, he's got Erica. I don't know. He's
Well, and theoretically, Hizuru might die in this fight, so.
Theoretically,
She's definitely dead.
Erica might be
How-
dead. We
how
don't
the-
know.
How the manga should end, we should just be about to finish up every loose end, and then you see like the detective go to say Erica, and like the page looks like it's like all fucked up, and like that's just where the manga ends. Like the last Erica fucked up the physical page the author was drawing on, and that's it. This is
Goofy.
GG.
oh boy. Shadow, what do you want to happen?
Good question. I think I want some combination of both Nyan's and Justin's predictions. Some combination of that.
I want Totsumura to get a W. I want the cop to get a big W in some
Yes,
way.
he wants
okay?
to get, I want to
He's-
get a W.
He's great. He's amazing. I wanted to get some kind
He
of W.
beat Joe Shinpei.
Either he
He's so
finally
unpredictable.
impresses Erica and they go out or whatever. He starts taking his comp job seriously and like he's actually like well respected or whatever. Or like he becomes badass and does something really cool in a fight at the end or something like that. I want him to have a W. I also want Nezu to
Also,
what?
Not be
Derek?
short anymore.
What?
Wait, Derek, the panels I sent you literally say she's trying to go home somewhere deep, far away in the ocean. Like the doctor literally says her plan is to go home in the ocean. And that's why she needs the.
Wait a minute.
It's on the panels I sent you.
No, it says no creature of this world can reach that place. Only shadows can.
Yes, and it says to where she came from,
That
far
doesn't
away,
necessarily
deep
mean
in the ocean.
that it's talking
It
about
says-
the ocean itself. It's probably referring to the meteorite, which is probably from space.
That's in the ocean now.
Because it crashed into the. You're fucking. I can't do it. I can't do it.
Look, we didn't get a
can't do it.
confirmation on a
I told
meteorite.
you several times.
Shinpai
you can
was
have your
shitposted.
I don't know why you keep bringing it up. You can have your mer people dream. I'm not going to spend this time arguing with you. I have points that could go against you, but I don't want to spend 3
What
hours
if,
arguing about your fucking mer people conspiracy. I don't want to do it. I don't want to do it.
We don't have
What
time.
if, you know
Yeah,
how
I'm
it's
done.
called a shadow disease? What if it's more like a Waters of Mars thing, where like inside the meteor there was bacteria, and the bacteria has been what's spreading? And so it actually is like a shadow disease because it's multiplying and spreading as like a weird sentient bacteria.
This is
That-
like a tardigrade.
that's
Isn't a
what-
meteor.
that's-
The
that's-
tardigrade was a shadow.
Well, that's why I kind of figured it. I kind of figured the shadows as like digital beings were actually just this weird like cosmic kind of bacteria that were sentient.
Yeah.
And like doing shit. That's what I figured it was. And then they just attained some form based on the deep underwater shit that they saw at first when they crashed onto here. And that's why some of them like
Yeah.
revert to mud or whatever, because that would probably be parts of what they see. I don't know. Like I said, you can have your Murphy conspiracy. Okay, I'm not here to
I
crush
just
it
want
for
to say
3
though,
hours.
the meteor part isn't confirmed though. Like Shinpei said, from the ocean or from this or a meteor, whatever it may be. Like we don't know
Okay,
they came
like
from.
I said,
like,
you
he
can
was
have your
just-
Murphy conspiracy. I don't fucking care. I don't want to talk about it for 3 hours.
I know. I'm just
Shut
saying.
the fuck up.
I'm
I don't
just-
care. I don't care.
I'm
Stop.
just saying.
Stop.
I'm just saying. Stop saying that the meteor is a fact because we don't actually know where they came from yet.
Okay, well then stop saying mer
Like,
people's a
we're-
fact
we're
because
just
you don't know
putting a
where
lot
it
of
came
things
from yet either.
No,
we
I'm
could do this all
trolling with
day.
more people.
No,
I'm
I
just
know
trying
you're
to. I'm
trolling.
just
That's
trying to
why I'm
line up
trying to tell you
that
to shut the
meteor.
fuck up. I know you're
No,
trolling.
I'm trying to line up to stop saying that the meteor is a known fact because we don't know that yet.
You're trolling.
That's all I'm
I know
trying to
you're
say.
trolling. Just shut the fuck up. Stop. Stop.
No,
We
I'm
don't
just trying
have-
to say the meteor's not a
Oh.
known fact.
We don't have to
Listen,
talk about this for 3 hours. These are theories.
Justin, I absolutely I love you, and I love the fact that you're goofing.
No, I'm not
right?
trying to goof. I'm just trying to say I just want it on the
Shut
record that it's not. The meteor's not a
Please,
fact.
please,
It's
let me
fucked
end the
up by
fucking
notes.
podcast, please, for the love of God. Let me end the episode. Jesus
That's what
Christ.
I was
All right,
gonna
end the
say.
podcast.
I wanna,
End the
I wanna go to
podcast.
bed.
End the
I
podcast.
want to go to bed.
Jesus Christ. Okay. All right. So, That was Summertime Rendering Volumes 9 and 10 this week. We did it, gamers. Wow. We have exactly 2 more weeks left of Summertime Rendering. We've got Volumes 11 and 12, and then we're going to have the final volume. And then we're going to be starting the vote for the next series. So make sure you get ideas ready for when you get to that part. Yeah.
With the final volume, should we leave it last? Because I feel like it's going to be like a slice of life. Because I can't imagine we have that much story left.
I don't think it's going to be a slice of life at the end.
Funny though.
I wouldn't recommend. We discussed it before. I don't think I would recommend it just because it's going to be 3 volumes. We're going to have to discuss multiple things from all at once, and it's going to have a big ending thing, and it's going to be a whole thing. I don't think we should do all 3 of them at once. I feel like we should. I had proposed an idea at some point of us talking about the final volume and also watching the anime. My only concern is the anime is 24 episodes because it covers the whole thing. So I don't know if we would have the time commitment to all do it. So I recommend against that, at least for now. I'm just going to say for the safe side, let's just stick to 11 and 12 and then 13 for the final one. You are more than welcome to read the final volume prior if you want, but just understand that spoiler issues or whatever in terms of what happens at the end. So I don't know. It's up to you. It's up to your discretion. If it screams at you to finish it off. If you're dying to know whether or not it actually was mer people and it's revealed in the final volume, that's up to you. I'm just going to go. The plan that I'm going to stick with is just 11 and 12 next week and then 13 the week after. And then we do the vote for the next series. So that's my plan. And we'll just stick with that for now. So that was all for this week. Does anybody have any final they would like to say before we wrap this up?
Remember to drink water.
True. Thank you. I needed to drink water. I'm very dehydrated from mer people debates.
Remember to breathe in air.
True. Sometimes I forget. I was like, oh shit, I need to do that, don't I? Why is I don't know why my stream's suddenly starting to die. We're just gonna end it here. This is a good point to end. We're gonna wrap it up here. So good night,
gamers.
Yeah,
your internet just shitting out.
Goodbye, stream.
Good night.
Bye, stream.
Bye, stream.